Hi guys, this is Begla. I'm here with the monthly readings for the month of June for both the feminine and the masculine energies. I'm here outdoors, so I can imagine whatever noises can happen, but I love being outdoors. I'm finally being able to try to do some my videos outdoors. So just to put some quick reminders, if you would like to book a private reading with me, or if you would like to inquire about my services, please check my website, soulspeak.com. Also, I'd like to invite you to join my Facebook group page, Soul Speak. I post a lot of insights there, a lot of guidances that I receive from our spirit guides and from just channeling the energies that are around us at this moment. It would really help you out. Also, I have a Twitter account, Negla Soul Speak, if you'd like to follow me. And I also have a newsletter, so on my website you can sign up for my newsletter as well. Just wanted to give you a quick insight about what's coming in the next 3 months of the summer. I know that here it's going to be the summer in the northern hemisphere. It's going to be coming in the opposite season for other people in the world. The last channeling from Archangel Michael to Twin Flames and to Divine Partners, he noted that as summer comes and summer equinox comes in June, we're going to see a lot of intense changes coming up. And my feelings are of what's coming is that I feel definitely that the month of June is going to be an intense month. Not just energetically, but I feel it's more about action month. There's a lot of different actions that we're taking. We're going to feel a lot of steps that we have to do. So it's like, it feels to me like the work that we've been doing for the past few years, it's suddenly all coming as intensely in one month that we have to make either decisions or make specific actions that actually will really be the end of that whole cycle that we've started a few years ago with the changes that we were working on. See, when we're talking about changes, changes are not just in one step, but a lot of major changes that happen in our lives come in so many different steps. We take one step after the other, and we keep going and we keep going until we reach a point where we reach this final decision or final action, which we have to take. So really this whole phase or this whole chapter of our lives ends and ends with love, because it's going to move us into a new chapter that's also going to bring us love. So just the 3 month, especially of this June, July, and August, and I feel maybe until the mid-September is going to be almost the same. It's going to be intense, intense taking action, intense emotions, intense purging, intense cleansing, which will be amazing because we cannot move into the next level of our own ascension without getting rid of our either the past emotions, past pains, fears, whatever from our ego that is not going to help us with our next chapter or our next move, is going to be taken out, and it's going to be those special 3 months. And I'm sure astrologically as well, you're gonna if you follow any of the astrological videos or reports, you can understand more about the astrology. But from an energetic perspective, you're gonna find yourself applying the things that you've learned. You're gonna find yourself really seeing the changes that you've been working on coming to light. So it's going to be a very enlightening time that we're going to be able to see what we've been working so hard for, especially for those who have been doing the work for a while. For those who are just starting and beginning on their awakening, and because I'm seeing a lot of people starting to communicate with me because they're awakening, and they really need so much help to understand the process and understand what's going on, and why things around them are changing. So again, those 3 months are going to be intense for those people who are beginning to start their spiritual journey, and beginning to understand why we're here, and why things are changing all around us. And I want you to also take note of what's happening in the world around us, because even though whether we are twin flames or divine partners or people on an ascension journey in general, sometimes the media tries to magnifies the issues, or magnifies the darkness or the negative aspects of this physical life, but it's really meant, of course, apart from all the hidden agendas and all the hidden financial interests within creating this kind of mentality of fear. We also are being prevented from seeking our own knowledge and from seeking our own intuition and our own inner knowing about really what's going on with the world. So I definitely want you to understand that when you're watching the media, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be noticing that as well, and a lot of people are talking about that. It's nothing new, but again, I want you to see things from a better perspective. I want you to see things that, as much as we're seeing some negative aspects happen in the world, with all these negative things and all these atrocious acts against the human sacred soul or sacred life, or the ability to live in peace and the ability to live in in harmony and to live without fear. And there's so many attacks on this basic right of humanity. I want you to understand that also what's coming with that is so many people are becoming enlightened in a way that they're looking for change, and they are seeking change, and they're aspiring for change. And there's so many good deeds happening around us, and the more we focus on the good, the more this is what's going to expand, because whatever we're thinking about is whatever is going to expand. And I see so many people, or not so many, but I see people sharing acts of kindness, and there are people who share information about bad things in the world, but at the same time we have to keep balancing both at all times. We can't be a person who only shares negative information and say I'm an enlightened person or I'm trying to enlighten the world. But again, the more you share negative information and negative um, acts or negative issues and darkness in the world, more of it is going to be expanding. But at the same time, if we share whatever happens that is not really a happy event, but we also share it with so much light, and we share it with love, and we share all the goodness of this world, the more we share goodness, the better the goodness is going to actually prevail in this world. So just to gives you heads up about those coming months. And of course, if you were in going into, not in the summer season, you're going to a winter season, or going into the cold months, then also this is another way of nature to help support you in the coming months by allowing you the time to stay in more of contemplation, in more of spending some time alone, or spending some time where you are seeking your own intuition. And I wanted to remind you that I'm also going to be in Chicago at the end of June, June 30th till July 2nd, for event Twin Flames Together. Again, this is not just an event for Twin Flames, but it's also for anyone who's seeking guidance on their ascension journey, for anyone who's seeking support in understanding how to master the skills of being alive, or how to master the skill of actually living in a physical, as a physical being, but also be able to integrate the spiritual being of yourself in your everyday life. So the tickets are and space is very limited, so tickets are really going faster. I'm going to be partnering up and joining with some of the most beautiful gifted souls in either in the Twin Flame collective, or in people who are really, really gifted. Kalina Melnar, Marla Kelly, Dio Vasilnov, Terry Wilson, and Debbie Dubois. Each and every single one of them, I have so much admiration to their own gifts and to their own mastery of life skills and mastery of intuitive skills as well. So please join us. I'm going to leave a link to the event at the details of the videos, and would love to see you and would love to join you, because this is going to be us, the six of us, really joining hands and working with each person in group settings, as well as we're going to do more individual guidance for each person that is going to be attending the event. So it's definitely a time, because especially as the summer months are coming, so many people are going to be challenged by the energies, going to be challenged by life matters that are going to be happening around them. And this event is going to definitely support so many of you on this journey, and will give you the knowledge that you need to empower yourself, so you're able to deal with your own life journey, whether you're on a twin flame journey, or whether you are just seeking more happiness in your life and seeking your own spiritual ascension, your own spiritual knowledge. Just really connecting with the six of us will, I'm sure, support you. And we're going to be channeling. I'm personally going to be channeling, and I know each and every one of us is a channeler by their own skill, and we all have our own specializations. So I'm sure I'm going to be channeling more of the archangels and other spirits of love and light. Probably also my mediumship is going to kick in if someone is in need of that. And I would definitely would love to have you guys join us. So now on to the readings. Hi, so this is our reading for the masculine energies for the month of June 2017. Again, when I'm speaking about a masculine energy, it does not necessarily mean a specific gender, but it also definitely means it could be a woman with the masculine energies more are her main skill, and also it could be also even feminine energies. They still have to balance their masculine energy, and this reading is going to cater for that. So I'm definitely excited to show you guys the cards that I received for our masculine energies. I know when you watch my readings, you're going to see they're more like it tells you the journey, how the journey is. And if you follow my readings month before, you're going to see things building up on each other. And this is truly how we grow in our spiritual advancement, and this is how we seek knowledge, and this is how our soul starts to take over, and how we get our own guidance in our life, and how we make positive changes in our lives. And especially I know a lot really follow how the masculine energies are doing, and I feel many of them are definitely stepping up. So let me share with you the first card, and I'm going to be definitely at the beginning, I speak about the energies and what is going on from a healing perspective. Then we're going to do the romance angel cards, and then we're going to have a hint about what's happening with their finances and their careers. And I'm going to have a link at the bottom for my website, as well as the cards that I'm using today. The first card that I received for our masculine is intuition, and I think it's pretty amazing that the first card that I received for you guys today is intuition, because I feel it's definitely coming really in so much harmony with how the readings have been going on for the masculine, and how if you've been following my readings for the past months, you're going to see how the masculine have been growing more and more into their own intuition. So this card, she is the Greek goddess Selene, and she is the goddess of the moon, and like on her shoulder there's a dove, and there's a river, and the background is like the moonlight. So when we are talking about, you know, especially this card with the moon energy, and it's a feminine goddess energy of intuition. We always say, like some people say, that women have the sixth sense, or they're more in tune with their intuition, and the masculine energies have been really the programming of society have been pushing the masculine away from their intuition, and away from them seeking their own inner knowledge. Because if they seek their own inner knowledge, then so much of this societal programming to them, and the templating that they're being pushed into, for whatever reason, those templates have been happening, and for years and years, and humanity has been suffering truly from those templates that the masculine have been locked into. It's now their time to actually honor their own side of intuition, because again, as a soul, you have access to all of this. It doesn't matter whether you're a woman or a man, a masculine or a feminine. We all have to have access to our own intuition. I feel with this card is really telling us that the masculine energies have been tapping more and more into their own knowing. It's like they're becoming more masters of that skill of intuition. With the moon also, I feel, of course, it reminds me of the moon card in the traditional tarot. it's like things happening behind the scenes, and I feel also not just that the masculine are tapping into their own intuition and they're starting to really understand their intuition and work with it. They're really working with their own intuition now. Um, like before, they were still trying to understand this kind of skill and the life skill that they have, but now it's more that they're getting used to it. It's becoming part of their like everyday routine, that they understand how to deal with their own intuition. I feel also with this moon card is that so much is happening behind the scenes, especially when we're looking at our masculine energies, like especially because we get misguided by seeing things in a 3D, because what we see and what we with our own eyes, or what we hear is not necessarily the truth, because what happens behind the scene, what's happening in the soul, what's happening in the person's own spirit, can be something totally different. And I feel that's really about what's happening with the masculine, that um, sometimes the feminine energies don't understand, or um, their ego really pushes them from understanding that the masculine also have things happening behind the scenes that we have to actually honor and see and respect, because they are dealing with so much more than what we think. And the card intuition is again a good reminder also for our feminine energies to seek their own intuition, to understand the knowledge that they can't see with their own eyes. um, I feel also with this card is that they feel also that they're being misunderstood by those around them. Um, this is a message that's coming also. The guys are saying that even though the masculine are working more with their intuition, again, sometimes your intuition and your guidance and that divine guidance is coming to you from your soul, can make you do things that people around you don't really understand, and they actually can try to tell you that you're doing something wrong, because again, a lot of people are still calculating the world based on ego perceptions, whether it's based on fear, whether it's based on the financial calculations, or whether it's based on their own life experiences. They don't really necessarily tap into their intuition. But the masculine, especially the ones who are working more with their intuition, and again, they're all in different levels and they're not going to all be the same, but the ones that I'm going to be more focusing on are the ones who are absolutely tapping into their own intuitive guidance and their own intuitive soul knowing, um, that they're being attacked by people around them, that they're being told that they're wrong, and that the steps that they are taking to manifest positive changes in their lives is being criticized highly by people around them. But I feel also with this card that they, even though that they're being criticized for their steps, their trust in their knowing is growing. So they're taking those steps no matter what, because they have started to understand that when they take these steps, better things start to happen, and their own inner peace and their own happiness starts to show up in their life. And that's really what we've been noticing, that what's happening with the masculine is that they're starting to understand that they need to be happy in their life, and they can't always be the ones who are sacrificing themselves for a relationship, or sacrificing themselves for a certain template that they're following. So this is an interesting card coming for the masculine, that they are still going to follow their intuition no matter what others around them are telling them, because they're going to be correct. They're following those intuitive guidances. They're going to be matched by really wonderful rewards from this universe. The second card that came for the masculine is adventure. And I know that this card just came recently, and I like the confirmation again from the guides, coming with this sense of adventure. And again, this card is about someone taking leaps of faith, or deciding to really tap into the joys of life and enjoy life with all of its magical happenings, and what is really going to bring them happiness. So again, this card is a confirmation again from the guides that they're taking leaps of faith, and it doesn't matter whether the leap of faith could mean a simple little change, or a bigger change. So again, this is a confirmation that they're deciding, and they're moving forward with taking those actions and taking those leaps of faith, whether they're going to be speaking the truth, or honoring themselves in so many different ways. um, and I feel like there's also like the bottom, there's a butterfly here, and this butterfly represents transformation. So their thoughts are transforming. So not only that they're moving ahead with those leaps of faith, but it's again, it's a result of them um, being transformed from within, and the transformation is happening, and it takes time to be transformed, and they're honoring that time, and they're honoring their soul's guidance and their own transformation. And especially for twin flames, we have to see that things change over time. You need so many experiences and events that happen through time so that transformation is happening. Because when a transformation happens without solid foundation, it's going to be again not not beneficial, because that foundation is not really solid foundation. It's a shaky foundation. So you'll have to keep repeating the same cycle until the foundation becomes really mature, and it becomes really grounded, for us to make leaps of faith and um, those transformative actions. So as the masculine honor that in them, and the feminine also honor that same thing in their masculine, as well as they honor that in themselves. This card is also another great card about their own transformation, and that they're taking leaps of faith. And I'm feeling a lot again with this card that someone is moving a home. A home. There's always there's another emphasis on a new home that's coming with this card. The last card that I got for the masculine is the card Power, and I think for as far as I remember with my readings for the collective masculine, I never received this card for them, but I feel it's an amazing card because again, she's representing that inner power and inner strength, and she's got wings, and behind her there's a compass, and there are two cheetahs at the bottom here. I feel with this card is it reminds me very much of the chariot cards in the tarot, but this is coming with the message that um, the masculine energies are tapping more into their own power and their um, own inner strength, because again, strength is an inner feeling. It's an inner it's an inner it's our inner power. It's our inner, because it always comes from the inside, and no matter what happens on the outside, if we're not strong from the inside, the outside is not going to be reflective of that. So they're tapping into their own power, and they're starting to actually stand firm with their new ideals and with their new knowledge, and they're really protecting um, who they are right now, because they're starting to admire who they are, and understand that the power that they've been giving away. And again, if you've been following the guidance for the masculine, many of them have been giving that power away to those with who don't have their highest good in their minds. Whether it's a karmic relationship, again, a karmic relationship is someone who's taking away your power by keeping you stuck in a certain template. And again, it's your soul journey to go through it, and it's your soul journey to grow from it, because as you heal it, you help others heal that template as well. And especially that for twin flames, as we heal things for ourselves, we're healing for the collective, and we're helping others with that same template. And the masculine are no less than the feminine in doing the same things, and they are going through it with their own inner knowing and their own inner power. Um, the compass at the back here reminds me of the masculine knowing their own guidance, that they are not just doing things haphazardly, but they're actually following a specific compass that is being guided by their own soul. I see the cheetahs kind of at the bottom here. This is another spirit animal that's full of strength, and it's full of agility and so much beauty in it. And them kind of submitting to that diva, or submitting to that goddess, is kind of them conquering life and mastering their own skills of life, and they're becoming in control. Like they're not giving their power away. And I feel with this card also, many of our masculine are as the previous cards, are being challenged by people from around them, and I see a lot of them being challenged with family, especially with parents, or even their karmic partners as well, um, and they are not really submitting to those acts anymore. It's like they know what it is now, and they're choosing not to submit. They're choosing to kind of fight back and stand firm to protect what they feel is rightfully worthy of them, and rightfully the way they see that they need to be treated, and they're not taking that again. They're not accepting this lower treatment, or this treatment that does not honor their soul. And again, it's their own self-respect and their own mastery of their own power. The masculine power is coming and it's showing, and the guys really want to commend them. Actually, this is a commendation, and I normally get commendation cards for the feminine, but this is a commendation card from the guys, that this is hard work. This is hard work and results of hard work, that they're really becoming into their own inner power. This also reminds me of the magician card, because a magician is someone who knows how to manifest things. So it's a beautiful card of success and victory that came after so many challenges that they are that's what they're going into. And I wanted to show you the bottom of the deck because I feel it's also connected. The bottom of the deck is the card, the Guardian Angel. And I know I spoke about this card that came before, but I feel here, as with the three other cards, is that the masculine are now they're listening more to their guardian angel. They're listening more to intuition, because their guides and our spirit guides and the archangels and all the beautiful spirits of love and light in this world are supporting us, supporting the masculine, they're supporting all of humanity. But the masculine now are actually starting to understand the guidance. They're listening more for the guidance. They're not afraid to listen to the voices in their head or the voices in their heart that tells them to do something that they did not imagine themselves doing, or a direction that they thought they would never really have the courage to take before. So it's a commendation card coming for our masculine. Um, I love the energy of our masculine this month of June, and they're going to be facing, as many of us, we're going to be facing a lot of inner changes and actions, but they're going to do it with a lot of strength and a lot of power. Let me show you what came for the masculine with our romance card. The first card is new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So I feel for those masculine energies who are single or in a twin flame connection, I feel that their love for their divine partner, their love for the feminine is becoming new. It's becoming like a new love to them, because it's no longer the same old love, which carried so much ego with it and carried the intensity of the pain or the intensity of the healing. That their love for their feminine is transformed to become something totally new. And even if you don't see it right now happening with the masculine energy that you're connected with, or for those, I'm talking the feminine, if you can't really fully see it, this is going to be coming as well, especially for twin flames and for those divine partners that are working on the same ascension journey. So their love for the feminine is becoming new. It's feeling like a new energetic. It's like they're meeting their feminine for the first time. In a sense, they are excited about knowing their feminine energy. They're excited about connecting with their feminine counterpart. They're excited about really seeking this intense love, or seeking this unconditional love, and they're renewing their emotions, and they're renewing their passion for their divine lover. um, and I feel also for those who are watching this reading, if you are paired with your divine partner, or you have your a connection with a special someone, I feel that you're gonna be bringing in more new energies into your connection to your divine partner. So you're bringing in more positive energies, because you yourself, you're changing, and that's gonna be a very positive card. So again, it's a card about high vibration, and I feel as we're raising our vibration, we tend to attract better experiences in our life, and love is no less than that. The second card that came for the masculine is trust, and I know that this card came for them before. This situation is calling for you to have faith, and I know that the guides are confirming, or actually repeating the same messages for the masculine, is for them to trust what they're doing right now. That they have to trust the prompts that are coming to them intuitively from their guides, that they need to act upon them and not to feel I feel some of them are scared to take some actions that they're being guided to, but again, it's again another confirmation that they have to trust their divine connection. They have to trust their inner knowing, and especially when it comes to that divine lover, because or divine partner, because as they trust, they're trusting many things in their life, and it's time for them to trust and honor their partner as well, because they should not really look at their partner from an ego perspective, that they should understand that their partner is a spiritual partner, and a soul partner um, is going to be looking at things differently than what they are fearing, maybe because of templates. I love this card as well. The last card that I got for the masculine is past life relationship. You've known each other before, and I feel this is another confirmation, or because I know this card came for them before, but I feel this time it's about the masculine um, tapping more into their past lives, that they're starting to honor their own past lives, that they're starting to gain knowledge about their past life, whether they get flashbacks or they get flashes in their head about their divine partner. It's like they, especially those on a twin flame journey, they're starting to understand that their twin flame is someone that they've known in past lives, you know. And of course, when I'm talking about past lives, you can take the term of whatever, like parallel, universes or parallel timelines that we're going through right now. But again, the term is easier to understand like that. And the masculine are tapping into that. They're starting to understand that the person that they've met, that the person that they've known is someone that they've actually known before. And it's fascinating for them, because it's like some of them are in shock a little bit, because it's something that they never fully envisioned, that they never really thought about. But for some of them, they're starting to actually understand it more and more, how they're honoring their soul, and that it's something that's becoming more normal to them. And I feel that the guys just said something right now, is that also the meeting or the reunion, and especially this is about twin flames now, that meeting or the reunion of twin flames in this lifetime is divinely guided. It is destined in a way, that this is something in their blueprint, and it's meant to happen, and it's destined. The word destined, the guys said the word destined. So many things in this journey is destined. We have free choice and free will in so many things, but I feel that there are milestones that we have to achieve as a soul, and these milestones are going to be destined. We can choose little things in our life, like the way we're doing things, or like taking a detour, but again, you're always gonna reach those specific milestones no matter what, because your soul has agreed on that. You had a soul contract to do things, and the same thing is happening with the masculine. They're starting to understand that this is their destiny, and this is where they're heading. So it's giving them that knowledge again, coming to them. It's connected to their intuition, but now it's their intuition towards their past lives. They're starting to see things from that perspective of that knowing. Interesting cards for our masculine. Now let's get to careers and finances. And as you know, what happens with our masculine, I get almost the same cards. The suit of water. So the first card is 8 of water. So again, this card, it's like this deck is like all about water with the masculine, and representing the emotions of the masculine. A desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. I feel very much that this card is about the masculine. I feel some of them are looking to change jobs or change careers in a way. I feel that because of their spiritual growth, they can no longer sustain that same connection with their current job or their current career or whatever they're doing right now on a financial basis, because they're outgrowing it in a way. This is what the guys are saying. They're outgrowing their current situation, and they are starting to understand that they have so much power and they can make any change that they seek in their life. So I feel that the number 8 is also signaling a cycle ending, but it's also a cycle of abundance is starting. So I feel abundance is coming with a change of a job. I see many of them like they're applying for jobs, and maybe not, they haven't heard about a change, but a change is coming because it's, again, is divinely planned for them to come at a specific time. But some of them are also thinking outside the box. They're changing the outlook on how they're doing what they're doing right now. So whatever they are, they're also changing their outlook because of their spiritual growth. I love this card, and I feel it's very positive for them, and it's another confirmation that they should keep going with what they feel, that they don't have to keep doing the same things over and over again and expect the miracle to change, because if you keep doing the same things, you're always going to get the same results. So this is telling them that they're doing the right thing by seeking things outside the box or outside the realm of the ego, because they're following their intuition, and their guides are helping them manifest that. And again, the second card is the Ace of Water. um, Falling in love, or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth, and an enhanced intuition, and a new home. So this card for our masculine, again, the Ace, again, is a manifestation, is a new beginning, is a change of thought, and it's reminding them also that they have to keep having their positive thoughts. I feel this is yeah, it's more about positive thoughts right now, that the guides are reminding our masculine to keep having positive thoughts about the changes that they're having in their careers and their finances. Um, I feel some of them are kind of waiting for a something financially to happen, so they are able to move in and take a leap of faith regarding a love relationship, or their love connection. But I also feel that the guides want to tell them that they have to keep having positive thoughts, because sometimes they get entangled in their negative thoughts, or entangled in them being afraid that they're not where they should be, or that they have not achieved everything that they seek to achieve before um, they seek that relationship, or seek that connection, a harmonious soul connection with another. Again, this card also confirms a new home, and I know the other cards also said a new home. So I feel some of them, again, it's another confirmation that some of them are being guided to move. Some of them are guided, some of them actually going to be moving in with their feminine counterparts. And that's, I think that they have, that's why the connection with their feminine energies are going to grow stronger, and they have to seek that communication, because a new home is on the horizon for them. I see that with this card. I think we had an interesting reading for our masculine for the month of June, and I hope this is giving you some clarity and some guidance on what's coming next. It's going to be a wonderful month. It's going to be a little intense because some actions have to be taken, but it's going to be a much needed change in the right direction for many of our masculine energies. So I hope you enjoyed this month, and I'll talk to you soon.